In this video, I'll be ranking my top 5 favorite anime of all time, as well as showing where I've ranked all the other great series so far. So as it is with any list, there's some criticism about where I placed some of these animes, and really the main ones and the most valid ones are probably the ones about Vinland Saga and My Hero. So just off the bat to clarify, I think My Hero is a pretty basic shonen. I think it's around A tier. But if you think My Hero is S tier or masterpiece, I can respect that. But for me, My Hero is around A tier. Though I do have to say that I haven't read the manga of My Hero. I've only watched the first 2 seasons, I think. And as for Vinland Saga, I've only watched season 1 of Vinland Saga. And to be honest, Vinland Saga as a story itself was very interesting, very high level story. And objectively, it should be in S tier. Also, I watched it a long time ago. And small spoiler alert if you haven't seen the series. From what I remember, it was 2 things that Askeladd did. One was around the beginning of the series, and then the other one was around the middle of the series. The second thing Askeladd did was basically butcher an entire village, full of kids and women, and also these people had given them everything. They had helped them, they had given them everything they needed, and still they just basically killed them in cold blood. That was really off-putting to me, and I couldn't really understand why the author decided to do that. I know crazy stuff like that happens, maybe even worse things, but if I'm watching a story and I'm trying to get away from all the craziness of real life, I don't necessarily want to see like the worst parts of humanity. So I'm sorry for anyone who's a fan of it. It should probably be higher, and when I do rewatch it, I think I will put it higher. And as you can see here, the tiers go from masterpiece to S tier, A tier, and then we have the basic or average tier. And then I have the watch list, so these are anime I plan to watch. And this tier is just like, I don't really know this anime at all, and I don't even know if I plan to watch it. And I had to put this tier here because I didn't really want to leave anything down there unranked. I would rather just put it in the I don't know tier. And then the last tier explains itself, I think. Okay, so Dr. Stone. This is arguably one of the most fun and relaxing series I've ever watched. I love it so much. I love science, as I've talked about. Senku is one of my favorite main characters ever. He lets everybody else in the series shine. I'm doing a full video on this, but I literally watch it and I enjoy it as much as I did those OG anime, and that is so rare. I used to think that maybe those OG anime also had the factor that I was just a kid and I enjoy things way more. Life overall just seemed a lot more fun as a kid. But also, some of them, like, they stack up. You can watch them now, and even past the nostalgia, you could feel that like brilliance and the passion that goes into making them. And Dr. Stone just showed me that even new anime can have that. But Dr. Stone for sure S-class level for me. Objectively it might be low S-class. It's a little childish at points, and it does have some small holes, but even those it knows about it and it tries to like address them. It's aware of itself. It's just so good overall. So underrated as well. This one is gonna be very, very shocking. Naruto Shippuden. And Naruto is literally one of my favorite anime characters of all time, period. Watching him as a kid really like impacted me a lot, and like his spirit and everything, I just loved it. I love Naruto, the character, but Shippuden has so many holes. I'm sorry. Even the rating of Shippuden is like a 7.5 or 7 something, so like it's not unreasonable. I feel like most people would say it's okay. They say like it's around A tier. And I know some people don't like boxing or sports anime, so like an anime like this might not be anywhere near S tier for you. It depends what you're into as well. Cause there's some animes like Vinland Saga that are S tier for some people, and I get it. But since I don't like pointless and stupid bloodshed, like that just pissed me off so much I couldn't really even enjoy the series that much. Okay, we're down to these 2. These 2 are my 2 favorite animes of all time, and they're both number 1 in a different way. This is more of like an all-around, overall way, just my favorite anime series of all time. It literally has everything. It's one of those elite stories. Even on my anime list, it's like a 9.2. It has a little bit of that old school feel about it. It has passion. I could say so much about HunterXHunter, but it's by far, maybe not by too far, but definitely I have established it as my overall favorite anime of all time. And Killua is also arguably my favorite character. Before, when I watched only the OG HunterXHunter, Kurapika was my favorite character in the series. But after watching the 2011 one, Killua and Meruem are like Meruem is a very like impactful character. Like he had my favorite moment in like all anime basically. But overall Killua is like not my favorite character just in this series, but in all anime I think arguably. So yeah, there's a lot I could say about HunterXHunter, and I'm sure I'll be making many videos about it. But so as I was saying before, like there's two lists. If you ask my heart, it has a different list of like the best animes of all time. They're the ones I love most. On that list, One Piece would be number one. Like it was the first anime that was really like super impactful to me, and I really love the characters in this series. So much that I can't even judge them on a regular like character tier list, cause I will just be way too biased. But it has some flaws, I will admit it. One Piece has some flaws. A lot of people say it's 8.5, and I was saying I'm a little confused by this, cause it definitely has some flaws, but it does have a lot of that old school charm and a very beautiful and well crafted story and world. And that's probably why it's very popular. Even though it has 1,000 episodes, people still say it's an 8.5, so a lot of people do kind of see it. And it has a very unique art style and a charm of its own, and I fell completely in love with it. And yeah, in that aspect, if I made a different tier list talking about like the most important anime to me and to my heart, One Piece would be number one for sure. Nothing would be anywhere even close. I guess Naruto would be second on that. As a story itself, it was still like S-class level though, in terms of how much I enjoyed it. The thing I don't like about One Piece, just to be clear, it's the fact that it also has that main character syndrome where like Luffy just beats every bad guy and he's always the one who gets to shine and save the day and blah blah blah. Like sometimes I would hope it would be Zoro or Sanji or something like that. But they always get the second guy, you know, like, and it goes like line by line. Like Luffy gets the strongest, the boss, Zoro gets the second, Sanji gets the third, you know, just like that. And it's a bit of too much of a formula, and it happens every time. And Luffy always has to be the baddest, the coolest, who saves the day, and I don't necessarily like that. I would like to see everybody shine, even though I truly love this show regardless of that. What more can I not say about One Piece? What more can I say about One Piece, rather? HunterXHunter though is it's the greatest for me. It's not maybe just purely like psychological thriller, not as good as this, but it has some of that. GTO does have that old school vibe, you know, but even so does this, I guess. And the art style, GTO is of its kind of like this school anime. It's arguably one of my favorites ever. It and School Rumble, for those OG who know what I'm talking about. School Rumble, it was also like in the first 3 animes I ever watched, so, and if it was here it would be in S tier, because I think it still holds up. But yeah, GTO is there, and this series doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, it means nothing, no impact to my life other than just some creepy ass shit I've seen in it. But in terms of just being an elite story, this series is it. And I haven't watched the second season just because it disturbed me. The first season I saw something that disturbed me for like a week. I was waking up in a cold sweat just because of that one thing that happened to that one kid. Oh my god, I shudder just remembering it as well. It was, Angel Beats was arguably not as elite as Promised Neverland, but I loved Angel Beats more. It's one of the few sad series that I can say that I'm glad I watched, but it was just so sad. Might have even made me cry, even though it's like trying to get blood from a rock. I basically never cry because of series, but it got me close to crying. If I could cry, I would have cried. Promised Neverland, I liked it and enjoyed it more than this, because yeah, there was some creepy shit, super creepy shit. I love the characters though. I like smart series, and these guys were so smart. It's a psychological thriller. It's like L and Light, except it's always so impressive when you see kids who are like 12 but they're insanely intelligent. And that's why Killua is like one of my favorite characters of all time, because he's just so smart and self-aware. Similar thing was going on here. You know, I don't remember as much about this series. I just don't. Mob Psycho, you know, one does his thing. It has some masterpiece moments, but then it has some other moments where like nothing too impressive, for me at least, is going on. Kuroko no Basket, like literally many of these shows here I loved and enjoyed so much I can't even explain. Like this show is probably the show I'm most excited right now about, versus Kuroko no Basket. I thought it was the coolest sports anime I've ever watched. It's just so cool. Soul Eater, it's here mainly for nostalgia. I don't know if it would hold up, but it was a very fascinating series back in the day to watch. Dr. Stone I just talked about. I've talked about these as well. My next tier list will probably be like an anime character tier list. But yeah, that's my tier list though. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.